I'm going to talk a little bit today about the use of a camera in posing an object to paint or coming up with ideas. The advent of the camera brings a variety of ideas about how it should or should not be used. But ever since it came on the scene, it has been used by a number of painters, sculptors, and so forth. I prefer to look at it as just another tool. And so there are ways that are helpful to use it as a tool, and there are ways that might slow a person down in developing their drawing skills. So we'll look at a couple of ways that I like to use it. For instance, I have here a can opener, which has some wonderful shapes and so forth to draw. I find it an interesting subject for that reason. And it is possible, I'm going to grab another tool here. It is possible to use a manual viewfinder, such as something like this. I find this very handy. This slides back and forth so you can get different view shapes. And so you can use something like this to figure out what you want your pose to be. And I do use this. I use a variety of things. Another way is to frame the object in the camera viewfinder. So that would look like something like this, and to take a picture of it. It, for whatever reason, is sometimes easier to see how the composition would be framed by looking at it in a camera. Now this is difficult to see because I'm getting a reflection from the window. So I'm going to put this aside and show some printed out pictures I have from a little photo shoot here. So this was one of the first views that I took. And then I wanted to bend down at a different angle and get some different shots of it. So I took this one. But in thinking about drawing this, I wasn't happy with this background stuff. I just thought that would get in my way. So I put up a sort of a background here, just a piece of white foam core to block out that. It's not wanting to stand up now, but that's what I did. And so I came up with these images. And then I wanted to get just a really different angle. This one, if I was wanting to get maybe a very sort of abstract image and not worried about the viewer of my piece of art knowing what this item is, this might be interesting. But if I was concerned that, who would know what that is unless they have this particular brand of can opener, so I flipped it over, and of course this shows the gears that actually cuts into the can. So that would be interesting, but it would be much more challenging. So if I wasn't feeling challenged on the day that I wanted to draw this, I might not do a view like this. The use of the camera is also helpful if you're posing an object, for instance, in natural light, which this is. We have this wonderful sunlight coming in here, but it's not going to be like this forever. If I want to work on this tonight, for instance, when it's getting dark out, I'm not going to have this particular shadow. So if I had a photograph of it, say I decided to do this image, it shows the cast shadow. What I would do is use both the object and the photograph, because it is always preferable, I won't say it's necessary, but I'll say it's preferable to work from life, because a photograph automatically diminishes some of the details, and it also removes some of the depth. So it gets difficult to know exactly what you're looking at. So if you have both, if you have the photograph of the reference that you want to render, I've lost it now. This, no, where did it go? This one. Say I was going to do this one. I would be able to continue working on that shadow if I wanted to use that. But I would also have the actual object in front of me to get any detail that I wanted, or any real shaping of the contours and so forth. So I enjoy using both of these ways, drawing from life and using the camera as an assistance to get the piece of work to look the way I want it to look.